Hi, Gary Chillingworth here for Airgun World Magazine, Shooting and Country TV. Welcome to Life at the Range. Interesting video today that was actually born out of the fact that I totally sucked at the last shoot of the UK HFT at Furnace Mill. Now, Furnace Mill was a really good course, really challenging, but I bombed. I've been shooting quite well recently and I've been quite happy with the way I've been shooting. But all of a sudden, I couldn't hit a barn door. And I spent the last couple of days thinking about why. I'm thinking about when I'm here on the range, genuinely, I can't miss everything. I just go up and down the range, knocking everything over. The minute I get to competition, everything goes wrong. I did some filming the other day where I shot a course, wrote down what I thought the ranges were, using the head bob method, and then went and laser range found the course, and that video will be coming very, very soon. And I was, with the exception of a few targets, I was only a few yards out, so I was happy at that. The gun's working well. It, shoots a ragged hole group at 40 yards. The scope's brilliant. I genuinely can't work out what's going on. And then I had a bit of an epiphany. Here at the range, where I shoot from is absolutely flat. A couple of the shoots where I've been shooting recently and done well, everything is flat. Furnace Mill, a lot of the pegs you had to lay almost like up a little slope, only a few inches out. So I was having to come up the peg. Now I know, and we've spoken about this in the past, I've got a slightly different aim point when I'm up the peg than when I'm down, and I think I'm getting confused. So the question I'm asking myself is up the peg less accurate than off the deck? If I can get a consistent hold and a consistent group always up the peg, as opposed to switching between the two, maybe it's time to give up shooting off the deck. Now, I know the vast majority of PCP shooters shoot off the deck, but they're not shooting a spring gun. Spring guns, they do need to move, and sometimes if you're doing an elevated shot, they're digging in and things are going wrong. So that's what this test is today. Up the peg or off the deck, which is more accurate? Welcome to Life at the Range. Okay, so the advantage of shooting off the deck is obviously you've got a really stable position. Your hand is in front of the gun is resting in your hand is resting on the floor, stable, stable, stable. The butt of the rifle is resting on the ground. Absolutely lovely, stable, stable, stable. The danger is when you've got a target that is below the level of the barrel, because now you've got to raise up. And you've got to start looking down. Even if the target is on the floor and you're used to setting up with the target a couple of feet in the air, it can affect the way you shoot. So what my theory is I'm used to shooting targets at a set height, and that when I'm shooting things either low down or up high, and I can no longer rest the gun exactly as I like it, it's going wrong. So let's shoot the target on the left, off the deck, exactly as I like it. Gone slightly left. We do have a right to left wind out there. It is a little bit windy today. It'd be much easier if we did this indoors. Let's see and try again. Not exactly sure where that went. One more. Well, I definitely seem to be going left. Okay, so let's go up the peg. Let's see how that goes. And when you shoot up the peg, the most important thing to think about is a stable platform. I like to think of it as an A-frame, peg being the top of the A, coming down your left arm, across, and then the rifle making the other part of the A. Now, what I'm thinking is that if I've got a high target, if I'm on the deck, I'm okay going up. But if I'm going down, I've got a pivot point. Whereas if I'm higher up, all I've got to do is move my left hand down, and I've got a much larger range of movement. But the rifle is still in my shoulder and my head is still in almost the same position looking through the scope. So that could be an advantage. Well, either that went through the same hole or it went massively right. I didn't see it, but there might be a pellet strike to the right hand side, but we'll put up in the captions below which one it was. We'll either put I'm good or I suck. I think we all know what the answer to that is. Let's go for another one. I think they're all pretty much going through the same hole. Let's try one more and we'll have a look at the video. I think I pulled that one slightly left. Now, as you can see, when I'm looking like this, my cheek piece is hard, sorry, my cheekbone is hard on the cheek comb, and I'm in a fairly stable position. But when I'm having to come up, even when I'm pushing down, it doesn't feel as stable. I definitely think there's something in this, but let's go down and get the card, and then well, unfortunately it's just started to rain and I'm running out of time because I've got to go to work. Now, looking at the information here, all my pellets were going left apart from the first one, and that ties in a lot with what was happening to me at the weekend. I was crashing and burning and I noticed that everything was going left, so I started aiming right, and sometimes they went straight, and I couldn't get the stability or consistency of what I needed. So this is going to need a lot of extra work. So is shooting off the deck more accurate? Yes, when you're shooting at a consistent distance, at a consistent height, and I've made it work for me for a long time. But for some reason, either this gun with this scope, or with this gun, or this scope with this stock, or something like this is not working anymore. So I might have to look back to go into my old stock that I made years ago that was designed to shoot off the deck. I'll be honest with you, I've been thinking about it. I've been using this stock for a long time now, and I've not won with it. Everything I won before was with my old horrible stock. I'll put a picture up. So maybe it's time to go back. I know today's video is a little bit of an odd one because it's really just me on the range trying to think about what has been going wrong for me for the last 2 or 3 years. Is it range finding? Is it shooting off the ground? I genuinely don't know. But it definitely seems here that when you go up the peg it pulls left. Now I know that when I shoot a supported shot I have to aim to the right hand side of the target because I go left, and that again is similar to shooting up the peg. So maybe shooting up the peg will be the right thing to do, because it will give me that level of consistency. Maybe not as accurate as shooting off the deck, but if it's consistent, then that will be better. I've had a couple of good things though. I've had some emails from viewers who've been into Crawley Surplus, which is our sponsor of the channel. Said, you know, they've had an amazing, you know, happy time there. Loads of guns, loads of scope, lots of kit. One guy sent me a picture of an amazing knife that he bought. So if you're in the Crawley area, please go and visit our sponsor and say hello. Just show them some love. Have a look on their website. They do lots of good deals, and that's all good. The other thing is, I just want to say a little hello. On Sunday we were coming back from Furnace Mill and we stopped at the services, and a very nice British Army soldier came up to me, tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hello, are you that chap off YouTube?" And I went, "Yes." Very nice corporal. And had a little chat, and I forgot to ask your name or your regiment, which I should have done. So if you're watching this video, say hello in the comments below. But thank you so much for coming up, and if any of you ever see me out in the wild, please feel free to come up and say hello. It's always lovely to meet you. As ever, thank you so much for joining us on the range today. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's one that's made me scratch my head a little bit, and it's one of these things that our videos, they're not always a finished event. This is the start of something. So I hope you're going to join me learning about shooting up the peg, because it's not something I've ever done, and I think it's something that I need to learn. So let me know in the comments below. Do you want me to go back to my old stock, stick with the green machine? Any advice, please, any advice to what you think I'm doing wrong, I'd really appreciate it. And that's pretty much it. I mean, just remember one important thing: the odds on being killed by a llama are never zero. They're low, but never zero. And always take care of yourself and each other. Thank you very much from Life on the Range, and we'll see you all again very, very soon, and hopefully I'll be shooting a little bit better. Ta-da!